Hey, Sumber here. Welcome to another episode of my Dominion 6 multiplayer game using all Warhammer nations. We're playing with various other YouTubers and I am playing as Middenheim. It is turn number 15. Completed our research and alteration, so we now have access to group barkskin. That's the main thing we're after, but also Mistform is available. We have sensed the location of undiscovered thrones, and we've seen that the Itza has claimed one of the thrones, the Throne of Life. There's a battle in Faircliff, so this is the northern part of my cap circle, I believe, that's being attacked by the Greenskins. Main army there. The most dangerous thing in this army, very clearly, the Savage Orc Warboys. They've got some other bits, Orc Boys and Trolls and things, but it's these guys, it's the Warboys in the centre. We haven't got very much here at all, just a little bit of front's defence. Probably 6 points. So I imagine we'll just get splattered. Hoping for a bit of friendly fire or something. Doesn't look like we're getting any, so I don't think they lost anything. They lost a River Troll. Okay, so that's alright. Oh, and they lost 3 Savage Orc Warboys, probably to bleeding or friendly fire. So that's actually quite good. We attacked in Kahir, that's the Wasteland province we have attacked with the Knights of Moor. They don't have very much stuff here, and the Knights of Moor are set to just guard the commander and sit back, so should be an easy one. They do have some Orc Boys here, so this is not all just province defense. But it's going to be a very one-sided fight, because the Knights of Moor have all those experience stars. So that's that dealt with. Then we are attacked in Offaleph, so that's where we moved our army out of. They've attacked a very small force here. It's some archers and some goblins, really nothing at all. We don't have very much here at all, but we do have one Knight of Moor who's got 2 experience stars, who I kind of accidentally left behind, but I think on his own he might be able to beat them, because he's just so much higher quality than these goblins. Yeah, and they rout immediately. So this is a... They were expecting us to just have nothing, I guess, like 1 PD or something. Or maybe they made an accident moving them here, but they're definitely losing that one. So yeah, just removed them. Gwelladon is us raiding again. This is in the most southern part of the Greenskins territory. So we've got the Grandmaster of the Knights Panther and 4 bodyguards. These guys are not quite so good. There's 1 fewer of them than the Knights of Moor. They don't have as many experience stars, and 2 of them are just these normal order knights who are less good. So bit more difficult this one, and there's also more stuff here, although it's mostly goblins. They've just been recruiting some kind of goblins here to go with their province defense. I imagine we'll win. Let's watch. Might take some hits, that's for sure. We are very surrounded, so you can see the horses are taking some hits. But knights have pretty good attack output, and they're just going to pick these goblins off, and their morale's very bad, so they should rout before they manage to kill anything. Yeah, knights not really taking any hits, but the horses are. They've got lower protection. And they're easier targets to hit because they have shields. So another fairly straightforward win. So nice little bit of counter raiding there. Unexpected event in Kahir, which is the province we just took. A bunch of people left in unrest. Okay, fine. Worldwide event. Everyone's getting younger. That's nice. Good for human beings. Doesn't matter for elves and orcs and things. We've got our palisades up, and we got a heroic ability for Werner Kriegstadt, the Grandmaster of the Knights Panther. He got heroic strength. So, what are we doing this turn? I hadn't actually decided what I'm going to do about this, because the orcs have made this. This is a fairly straightforward tactic. You just kind of snake forward. It stops your retreat from being cut off, and it allows you to push forward and constantly reinforce your troops. Now, in the south, it's fairly easy what I'm going to do here. I've taken these provinces. They're not under a great amount of threat. If they do attack, this is a very low value province. This one actually has a stone circle, so we get a little bit of nature gems stolen off from there, which is nice. I'm going to consolidate my forces back in Offaleph. So if you look what we're consolidating, we've got some free infantry, and we've got our 2 sets of knightly orders. And I'm going to have Jurgen go over and cast group barkskin on these knights specifically, so he's going to hang out there casting that. So Offaleph should be secure. There would be enough to, I think, even to beat this force, which is not terribly strong, the reinforcement force, if it goes into Offaleph. I've also thrown down some additional province defense there. I could probably do another 1 point of that, just to have some extra troops to soak up the Orky charge. Over in the Palisades here in Bagaloth, we are recruiting some Imperial Dwarfs. Imperial Dwarfs are really cool. You can only get them in the Highlands if you've got a fort there. And they have quality axe and quality crossbow and a shield. So they're a shielded, like hard-hitting, very high morale, good stats, pretty good protection missile unit. So they're really nice to have. You can only get 5 per month, but I will definitely be recruiting them. And they're thematic to fight against orcs. I'm trying to recruit an armor wizard, but obviously it takes a bit of time. And we don't really have the funds spare to upgrade this to a fortress yet. Maybe next turn. For now, it will just have to be a palisades. Something I'm somewhat worried about in terms of my forts is I've invested obviously 1,000 gold into palisades here, 4 months left, and it's looking a little bit like they might just roll across and hit into Three Pine Grove. That wouldn't be massively unexpected for the orcs to do that. It would be really unlucky for them to manage to do that. But if you look at their different move choices here, they could move up here to Anramark. Not great because then they're more easy to cut off. They could move into Anicia, that gives them 3 different provinces they can move into, and I haven't got very much that can move directly to it, so they're not likely to get caught if they do that. I could move a force from Middenheim, but it's probably not strong enough to beat their main force, which is there. I mean, these two are both big, but I think this one's got the most of their sacreds. The other choice they've got is they can attack Middenheim. Now that can be very effective. It's less effective against me at the moment because I do have another fortress up. So they're not totally cutting off my income, but attacking Middenheim would be bad for me. It would lock that down. And if I don't move troops there, it's not going to be that difficult battle for them, right? Because it's 25 defense and then just whatever I've got patrolling or moving out of Middenheim into Faircliff. They could attack into Feral Woods, in which case they would join up with this army, so we get 2 big armies attacking into Feral Woods. So they kind of have better decisions here about where they're going to go than I do. It's hard for me to definitely catch them into a good fight. I think what I'm going to do is just attack into Faircliff. I'll be attacking from Feral Woods and from Middenheim, and I'll hope that I manage to catch the army by using the larger army. I manage to, if they move to Faircliff, I make the fight happen there, and I'll lose Feral Woods to these guys from Green Mountains. If they move to Middenheim, they'll end up fighting the people moving from Middenheim, which is bad for me, but I will at least cut off Faircliff or catch this army if it's moving into Faircliff. If they move to there, we'll have moved in behind them. So there's a lot that could go wrong, but I don't want to overthink things too much. So I'm basically going to be taking this force and moving into Faircliff. Now, do I want to move out all of my mages to be casting Group Barkskin? The risk here, if they were with the other army, that wouldn't be a risk. I'd just go, yeah, like these two, they just accompany the army, it's fine. But the ones in Middenheim moving into Faircliff, if they attack and I'm leaving and they get the fight to happen, which is kind of random, in Middenheim, then anyone who's leaving Middenheim will be forced to fight, in Middenheim. So all of these mages will be forced to fight there. That could be quite bad. I could put them at the back of the battleground. That's one option. We do have some troops here. So it's hard to say, really, isn't it? I think what I'm going to do is put these guys on hold and attack. I'm going to sparse line these guys, and we'll have them on hold and fire closest. I know the enemy's quite spread out and can kind of do an attack rear, but I'm not sure they will. We'll have these guys on hold and attack closest. And I think I am going to put my mages into this. And we're going to do Group Barkskin all over the place. That's the plan. So we're going to go with Group Barkskin, and then we've got Swarm we could be casting. It's pretty nice. I think the other things are less of interest for this particular fight. So the trouble with Swarm is it is fatiguing, and I don't really want my mages passing out. So we could just go with Shrink, and we could just be flinging out Shrink to try and weaken some of their troops. What's the range on Shrink? I think 20 plus, not very good. We could be throwing out Enlarges to improve our own troops, but that's a bit unreliable. I guess we'll assume that maybe we'll get a fight somewhere else, so I'm just going to go with Group Barkskin for these guys, and I'm going to copy that and apply it to all my ambers. I think we're kind of going all in with this one, so I'm also going to commit this guy, my Glamour Mage, and he'll be doing Group Blur. That's a very straightforward thing for him to be casting. He'll be at the back. So we're going to be committing him, and then I am going to take the Skull Mentor off you, give it to my god. My god is not going to be committed to this battle. And you will... Have you got something good to cast? Ooh, Combustion. It is quite cold, so that's not going to be great where we are. I'm going to go with Body Ethereal, and we'll just do that. So we're doing a high commitment move here. We've got this big stack of mages we're going with, and we've got some decent quality troops that are going to be sitting back here soaking it up, and we'll put the archers off to the side, I think. So, mages, this guy, we're all going to go over to Faircliff, and we're going to try and meet up with these troops from here. Do we have anyone spare? We're going to consolidate our troops, obviously. Who's our best leader that we've got here? It's the Elector Count. So we're going to give the Elector Count as much infantry as we can. Give them the Teutonic Guard. I mean, I guess, given the situation, maybe we just make it into a giant block of infantry. Doesn't seem like a terrible plan. Oh, Selvig's also a really good leader. Okay, let's put all of our archers with Selvig. So he's king of the archers. And then we've got space for more free infantry with Valmir. Let's get these free infantry on. And then I think we want to have... Always going to have some guys on Guard Commander here. No shortage of good commanders. Hold on a minute. Let's take the free infantry away, and we'll have them over here. We'll combine them with the Wolfkin. We'll take these guys and add them to the main infantry stack. The Prophet can keep one of his bodyguards. Not the most thrilling thing to watch, me just organising troops, but you'll have to suffer through it. Dog at the front, Ungol Horse Archers doing their thing. And then we've got our Barkskin casters. So we've got one over here with our knights up there. We've got one down here with these knights. And they're not going to be doing Barkskin anymore. They're doing group Barkskin. Divine Blessing's just fine. Ulric's Fury, I guess it's fine. We've got loads of guys in the centre who are going to be casting group Barkskins. So that's not really so much of a problem. Yeah, it's not bad. Have we got anyone who's just kind of in a stupid place? Let's put them there. Yeah, not bad. So we've got this guy, he can go home. But all of these guys, do they all have troops? Rugen, you're not actually very relevant. It's nice to have spare commanders, but I don't necessarily need that many. Rugen and Leonhardt going back to Middenheim. And all of these boys are going to head over to Faircliff. So we're going to absolutely crush into Faircliff. If they double attack here, then hopefully we catch the ones in Faircliff, lose Feral Woods, that's fine. If they catch us in Feral Woods, we just fight them there. I mean, it's not ideal. I'll throw down some more province defense there. I'm not going to put any more in Anicia because it's really undefendable for me. We'll go for that. And then over here, we've got Ulfmar. Can you reach anything? Not really. So I think Ulfmar's going to stay there and preach, probably, for this turn. And I think I've done all my recruitment this turn. I guess it wouldn't hurt to have some more free company there. Off left's got what they can. Kuhir's got what they can. See, I get a big price reduction in these free infantry, so I'm just buying them because they're cheaper than. It's like stacking up province defense, really. And then in our capital, we're getting more Knight's White Wolf and more Wolfkin and another mage. So that's the plan. We've moved on to researching conjuration. We'll just see how it goes, and then I'll tell my various scouts to wait. I was hoping to see what Khorne was up to, so I'm going to go and take a look. Zan's playing Khorne, and people are always interested to see what Zan's up to. I know Bretonnia are like doing some battles. They appear to have a very big territory. They've got really good expansion, so let's just go and scout around in their territory. I don't think we particularly care about this guy in Lowmark, but we can just wait there, and we'll go and take a look at Bretonnia over here as well. Yeah, so that is everything for this term. We've still got a chunk of change left over. I don't know that I necessarily want to throw that money at anything. We could just keep it. 322. There's no mercenaries. We haven't really been going in for mercenaries. Well, I could go for Dante's Stingers. It's not a dreadful idea, is it? Let's bid on Dante's Stingers, and we'll do that down in Offerlef, so that we've got more people ready to attack. We'll throw a bid on that. Got the money to spare, so let's go for 275. There we go. Not really necessarily worth it, but it's nice to just have some other guys stacked up there, ready to threaten the Orcs' flank. Right, that's it for this turn, and I will catch you next turn. It is turn number 16. See how the war with the Orcs is going. Well, lots of attacks, so this is sneaking enemies for sure. A bit of researching conjuration. Battle in Bushford. So we've got a sneaking squad of goblins, some forest goblin archers, and goblin warriors, and then we've got some wolf riders who are probably on attack rear, I'm guessing. And we've got not very much here. So the wolf riders are probably going to win this one. They're just going to run around the back and kill our guys there. So let's shut the door. This is not very good province defense. We don't have great province defense everywhere, so, but maybe it'll beat some of their attacks. We'll find out. So I think these guys would lose to the goblins anyway, but even if they hadn't, the wolf riders is going to kill our archers at the back. Oh, we killed one. So we inflicted 2 goblins, 1 goblin wolf rider killed. Goblin wolf rider is pretty great for the cost. 15 gold. Very useful on attack rear. Good for diverting troops that are on attack cavalry or shoot at cavalry as well. So we've got a bunch of goblins here with some archers. This is a smaller force attack in this province. And we have 1 heavy cavalry here. That might actually be enough to defeat them. Heavy cavalry goblins really struggle against. And it's definitely going to kill 1 or 2 of them per round. And then we've got some heavy infantry. And goblins' morale is really bad, so we can see they've routed there. So that's not bad. So those guys are probably all dead. Maybe some of them managed to escape. In Foldenburg, it's not nothing. They're 5 gold each. Killed some enemies, and we get to keep the province. We were attacked in Ossennes. So we've got some more goblins here. This one's got quite a lot of goblin sneaks, which are definitely, or nasty skulkers they're called, which are definitely the nastier of goblins. They've got armor piercing attacks at 11 damage, pretty nasty. But we've got a decent amount of stuff here. We've got some spearmen and a second captain that we've been recruiting, and then some archers. So I think our archers are actually going to do okay damage, and then our spearmen should be strong enough to beat the goblins in melee. There we go. So we win there too. Yeah, these guys are all dead too, and a bunch of goblin nasty skulkers dying is good news. They're pretty nice for 7 gold. Then we've got a battle in Khorne. This is the desert, the wasteland province we took over. So this is a proper force of orcs. We've got some warboys, a couple of trolls, and some barbarians. I believe we didn't leave anything in here. No, just some province defense. Maybe we'll kill something. Let's find out. Probably not. Maybe friendly fire will kill something. So we've got 2 wild boys died there, so that's always nice, taking a toll on those. There's a limit to how many of those they can build because they're sacred. Anesia, we've got another battle. So this is their main force. It's these wild boys with the experience stars. A few big uns, lots of orc boys with experience stars as well, and some trolls. And we've got just a bit of province defense. So we're going to lose here, but let's see if we kill anything. It doesn't look like it. Oh, hang on. So these guys have routed. So we're going to lose, but if these guys rout off the battlefield, I think they'll all die. So that's 1, 2, 3. They all routed. I believe they're all going to die because that is a cut-off province, as far as I know. That's Anisia's our northwest. I'll show you in a moment. And then in Faircliff we attack. Let's see if we catch anyone. So this is our big army. Very, very strong army. Lots of stuff. This is good news for us. We've actually caught some people. So we've caught a small number of wild boys, a lot of orcs, a lot of whom have experience stars, so it'll be good to get rid of them. We've got a boss and some boar boy biggins. We've got some province defense, a couple of trolls, and then a bunch of barbarians. So this should be very one-sided. We've got quite a lot of missile fire. You can see we're casting all of our battle furies, our group blurs, and our bark skins. So these guys are bark skinned, are they? Somebody should have bark skin there. Are they casting it on the archers? Yeah, these guys have got bark skins. It does put the protection up. I wish I could get them to cast it just on my cavalry, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to matter much in this fight anyway. But we've got a lot of archers, so these lightly armoured things that the orcs have are going to get shot to pieces here. Then we've got cavalry on attack rear and cavalry here. Barbarians are good against heavy cavalry, but we've got the numbers. I think we lost a horse there on one of our white wolves. And we've got these guys attacking rear. Orcs in the middle getting chopped up. Slow it down. So quite a lot of missile fire hitting them too, and these wild boys, there's just not enough of them, so it's going to be good to kill them off. And the barbarians are routed. We've killed their guys that are at the back, so very little is going to escape from here because we've got all these cavalry. They're just going to hoover up the remaining fleeing enemies. So it's going to be an absolute massacre. So this wasn't it wasn't a really strong stack, it wasn't very many wild boys, but it was a decent number of their orcs with experience stars, and it's good to get them off the field. So I would say, we lost some provinces this turn, but militarily we came out the victors. So we killed a few goblins as well. We'll have to see what the strategic situation looks like. So casualties-wise in Faircliff, we lose 10 free infantrymen and a hunting hound. That's nothing. 5 state halberdiers, it's like 10 gold. We lose a horse off a White Wolf Knight. That's always annoying. But look at the damage they did. 51 kills for those 20 White Wolf Knights. They're just absolute savages. 4 Wolfkin. Wolfkin are always going to die. They're mostly just there to scare the enemy sacreds. Plenty of kills for the Knights of the Winter Throne. Archers did okay. What about our crossbowmen? I'm always interested to see if the crossbowmen actually got some kills. Well, 4 kills isn't terrible. And then, of course, our leaders. Even the Elector Count of Ostland got some kills. He was just shooting his bow, but he managed to get some. So what did the enemy lose? They lost 80 Orc Boys, 45 Barbarians, and it's pretty good to get these out of there. They're not cheap. And then, they hit pretty hard. A Boar Boy Biggin, the routing one probably didn't survive either. Both the River Trolls, and we killed 7 War Boys. So a decent loss. It's not their main army, but we got some stuff. So we've got some sort of global event here that's causing wolves to howl at the moon all over the place. And then we get a great event in Smotherdark. So we get nearly 2,000 gold and a Ring of Fire. Very nice. I'll probably throw the Ring of Fire on one of my Grandmasters of the Knightly Order. Worldwide event, High Heat. Battle in the Grey Mountains. So this is the Orcs. They are attacked by some doggos, it looks like. Black dogs and wolves. Oh no, just ordinary dogs. So dogs are going crazy today. We can see this province has actually got a reasonable amount of province defense. I think that's like 9 province defense, something like that. Let's get that many heavy cavalry. So that's the Grey Mountains. Do you have any more messages? Oh, we bought Dante's Stingers down here. So Grey Mountains, we are going to attack. It does have some province defense. We're going to move some stuff from Faircliff over there. Let's talk about what we're doing strategically here. So the orcs that are in Anicia, I think if he's got a scout, he'll be able to see I'm building a palisade here. So I think Three Pine Grove is lost. There's nothing that I can really send up to Three Pine Grove that could stop that army, or even really do it any major casualty. So I think he's going to knock that over, and it's a setback, but we do have our fort up already. I don't think they have another fort. This turn, I'm going to kind of stay roughly on the defensive. I'm going to try and catch their military out again. We're just going to, because we've got so much gold at the moment, I'm not that worried about losing some provinces. And they're not actually gaining any gold from them, because this is cut off and this is cut off. And they were defeated in the other places they attacked. Over here they took that, so they are getting gold from that, and they do get gold from Grey Mountains. So I am going to attack. Now I had various choices here. I could have attacked in and like threatened their backlines a bit, but instead of doing that, I'm going to stay cautious, consolidate, play a slightly longer game. So we're going to attack Grey Mountains. We're going to be sending the White Wolves in basically to deal with that, with some free company with them. And they should be able to fairly easily overpower anything that's there. Even if they move these guys in, I think they would still just lose in the Grey Mountains unless they do like a crazy province defense dump there, which is very unlikely. We are going to send a force to Anicia because they're almost certainly going to move out of Anicia. They're probably going to attack Three Pine Grove. That's the most likely. So I'd like to go in and just knock that over. So what I'm going to do is just send some archers and some infantry, and we're going to have this guy here. Put him a bit further back actually, so he casts it reliably on the infantry. Casting group Barkskin on those guys to toughen that infantry up. But that should be enough to take over the province of Anicia. A lot of our troops from Faircliff are going to go back to Middenheim and patrol. That's not so much because I think Middenheim's going to be attacked, but partly just I want my mages back at Middenheim, and I'm just moving these guys here so that they can threaten to move into any of the surrounding provinces that these guys might have moved into. So like Ascends back into Anicia, and I might be able to catch those guys next turn as well. So we're going on the defensive a little bit here. I don't think we're going to get attacked down in Offalyph. It's possible that he would take these guys from Cahir and attack into Offalyph, but I think he's more likely to attack into Gwilodon with this force. What's our province defense here? Archers and heavy infantry. It's not great stuff. I think we'll just save our cash. So we're not going to province defense dump there. Feral Woods is going to be defended by the troops moving back from Offalyph, so we'll have some Inner Circle Knights, and we're going to have our mercenaries pulled back there. So decent amount of stuff there, and we do have good defences there that I want to keep alive. So if he does attack into Feral Woods, which is quite possible combining these two forces, hopefully we'll have enough forces there to beat them. So we're looking for a fight in Feral Woods. We're looking to take back Anicia and Grey Mountains with forces from here, committing fairly lightly, and we're moving a large force back into Middenheim. I think I might actually boost up the forces that are going to Grey Mountains a little bit. So that is, let me just check who's going to Grey Mountains. Rain Volkard, basically. We could give Rain a few more guys. Who do we have spare? I think I'm going to give Rain another knight, and I think I'm going to give him some extra free company. Where's he gone? There he is. So he's now got 44 free company infantrymen, and he's got 20 knights instead of 19. We'll take some of these guys off guard, I think. Just switch those around like that. I'm not so worried about him getting caught out. He's such a badass that I don't think he's very likely to get killed doing attack rear. It's possible. But we'll see how he goes. So lots of troops moving back and patrolling at Middenheim. If he does attack Middenheim, which would be a kind of sort of clever and unexpected thing to him to do. He would probably beat my PD if he did it, and it would be nice to catch him there. I just don't think it's very likely. Down here, this army is probably going to sneak, but who knows? It's a fairly strong army with the Wolf Riders and everything. They're probably going to attack in Foldenberg, maybe Stonegrave Mountains. Don't know. They could go for Ascends. We could have both of these guys trying to join up in Ascends. If that is the case, well, we're moving a very small force down to attack Bushford on the basis that I don't think there's going to be much province defence there. The province defence in Bushford, when we had it, consisted of militia and longbowmen, so bad stuff. Is this going to be sufficient to take it? Maybe. I think If he hasn't bothered to reinforce in there, it will be. I don't know. That's kind of a bit of a flyer, that move, but they're not worth very much, that army, so I don't really mind losing that. And I don't have a better force there that could just dash in and take that. Foldenberg, we've got some defense, and I'm recruiting some free infantry, and I'm recruiting a state captain, just so we've got some more guys at the back to fight the Wolf Riders that'll flank attack if they do go that way. Over here, we've got some defenses, but, again, Wolf Riders could probably take them out. I guess it might make more sense to move these guys over there to try and defend, but I'm just going to go for it. Feral Woods, we can recruit some more free infantry. They're usually worth having. And yeah, we're not really on the attack this turn, so just looking to mount a successful defense, basically. And I'm moving my guys back in case I just want to chill for a turn and research. I'll have my mages back there somewhere safe. So playing very cautiously overall. We do have a Ring of Fire. It just gives fire resistance. I may as well stick that on my Pretender. For now, he can just hold on to it. I don't think he's got any particularly relevant special abilities. No, he's just going to hang out and research in the capital. So yeah, that's your lot. In Middenheim, we are recruiting another Amber Wizard because we're going to keep doing our Great Barkskin stuff, and we're going to get more free infantrymen and more White Wolf Knights. Now, because we've got tons of money, that's the only reason I'm getting free infantrymen at the moment. They're not really a good investment, particularly. They're just numbers. But we've got the money to do it, and we don't have the resources to get much other stuff, so it's free infantrymen on the plate. I think if I take one off, actually, I can put another... Yeah, I'll put a spearman in instead. And then we're getting Wolfkin, because they are a good counter to the Sacred that the Orcs have. Even though they die a lot, I'm still going to use them. Yeah, so that's everything for this turn. I'll catch you next turn. Oh, I suppose we will see what's in Bagelof, actually. We're recruiting some more Imperial Dwarfs and some free infantrymen there. And I'm moving a commander back to pick those guys up. So because we do have some Imperial Dwarfs, and they are very good, and I would like to get them into some battles. Oh, and we're building a fortress there, because it doesn't seem like it's under immediate threat at the moment. Right. That is all. And see you next turn. It's turn number 17. So, this turn we have been attacked all over the place by the Orcs. So 3 Pine Grove first. Let's have a look. This is a not particularly strong stack. Orc Boys, some Savage Orc Biggins and some Archers. And it's against some rubbish Province Defense. So that is an easy win for the Orcs there. They lose 3 Orc Boys. We've got a battle in Grey Mountains. This is our Knights of the White Wolf attacking with some free company. The Orcs have some Province Defense. Some extra Orcs they've recruited this turn, I guess, these Orc Boys. And then they've also got this squad of Orc Boys. A lot of them are injured, so I'm guessing this is a kind of... They've been in some fights recently, kind of beaten up squad. They're not particularly high quality. So we've got our Barkskin going off over there. We should see that this is quite an effective strategy once things have been hit with Barkskin. If I could find an example of one that had actually been hit, they get up to 24 protection. The horse and the rider both get protection from that. So it's pretty effective. So with the Barkskin on them, these guys are going to be very tough and I think quite easily able to defeat these heavy cavalry and these Orc Boys. They both hit fairly hard. Orc Boys do hit fairly hard. But Knights of the White Wolf are just really good, high quality units. With the Barkskin on them, they're extremely tough. And then the free infantry are quite capable of chopping up a flank, as you can see. And we've got our Grandmaster in there as well, so overall, overwhelming military force here. We're going to kill all these Orcs fairly easily. Got some going for our Amber Wizards. That's potentially bad. But they should rout if we keep killing Orcs. They did. But maybe they need some bodyguards, those Amber Wizards. Not very many Orcs are going to get away because we've got cavalry here, and they'll kill them as they rout. Ooh, doesn't look like we got the boss though. Rain Volkard missed his attack. He's going for another one. And he missed that too. So, not too bad. 50 Orc Boys killed, some barbarians and archers and things. So we did actually inflict some casualties there. We only lost some free infantrymen. Bushford. This is our tiny little probe attack, and it looks like they left a bunch of troops here, so that is not going to work out for us. That was just in case they'd only had one province defense design there. So we're going to lose those guys. They lose some goblins, nothing relevant really. And remark, so the orcs here are split up a lot this turn. They've sent out these squads of orc boys and a few big uns and a boss. We don't have enough province defense in these provinces to do anything really, so we're going to lose that one too. They lost a boy. Offerlef, I think, is a similar situation. So this is mostly barbarians. We've got a couple of boar boys. Oh, we've got some wild boys here. So this one's actually a bit tougher stack. We don't have very good province defense here, but we do have some, so we should kill a few barbarians or something. Maybe we'll kill a wild boy if we're lucky. But we lose Offerlef. 4 barbarians, a goblin, and a wild boy killed. Anicia, we attacked. This is a reasonably sized force, and they've left 1 province defense there, so that's an easy win. Gwelledon they attacked. This is the southernmost bit that we'd conquered from them previously. Not a very big force, but it does have wild boys. Not blessed though. We might get a kill on a wild boy here, that'd be nice. Let's have a look. No kills. Could have used a bit more province defense there. That actually would have been okay if we'd province dumped there. Probably would have beaten them. And then in the Sens, this is their main stack of wild boys. So they basically split up their different squads here. And they've also got some boar boys. I think they're getting those from... Oh, here we go. We've got a hero. Karaz-a-Karak. So this is going to be where some of their troops came from, is they've got Karaz-a-Karak, and he's obviously trying to level up and get his war going. We have very little in the way of province defense. Maybe we'll kill a wild boy if we're lucky. Probably not. We killed a wild boy. It's always good to pick one of those off. And then we've got unexpected events, nature gems and unrest. And battle factions. We still had quite a lot of gold though in this turn. So what's happened here is basically the orcs have gone for splitting up and hitting the maximum number of targets. They hit Gwelledon, Anremark, Three Pine, Arsens, and they kept Bushford, and they're actually pillaging Bushford. So one of the reasons they're pillaging is that they haven't got any gold income from these because they didn't take any, they don't have any forts, and I have cut off their route back to their fort. So they're not making money here, but they did cost me a lot of money, including knocking over my castle I was building in Three Pine Grove, which is 1,000 gold. So economically, they're really being quite devastating to me, doing a lot of damage. In terms of their gains, they're really not gaining very much from this war at the moment. All of the battles that we've had, we haven't had a really big battle, but all of the ones we've had where I've managed to actually catch some of their troops, I've annihilated them. Lots of dead orcs. So militarily, my army hasn't really shrunk, and theirs has lost some, but they've been steadily building up. They haven't really made any gold, but they do contain more territory than me, and my economy is quite harmed. So strategically, it's kind of we're still in play. What we could do with is just catching some more of their forces and destroying them, and we need to go on the offensive a bit so they can't just like not worry at all about what we're doing. So we're going to have to take some risks. So with that in mind, the Grey Mountains troops are moving to Ashington. So here we could have troops from Workingham and Bone Nose tribes. So the capital is definitely going to have some kind of stack moving into Ashington. I presume that's really the only place they could go. So my hope is that I can catch them there with this force, and we can be fairly effective. I did say that I would give these guys some bodyguards, and I will do that. Just a little bit to keep them going. And then these guys are on hold and attack rear. And I think you should be on hold and attack closest. Main vault card. So the idea is we're doing the same thing as before. It's group bark skins to buff up these knights, and they're going to do the most of the damage. And we're actually going to move these free infantrymen down a bit to here. Yeah, so Ashington, that's the plan there. We're also going to attack an off the left. So we've got some forces coming from Bagaloth, some Imperial Dwarfs who are eager to kill the filthy Groby. And we've got some forces moving from Feral Woods. They're going into Offerlef. It's a fairly significant force. We've got the Imperial Dwarfs. We've got quite a bit of free infantry. We've got 2 sets of the elite knights with experience stars, these guys. 2 Grandmasters. Werner Kriegstad has lost his horse. So you should probably be not doing what you're doing. I'm going to change that. They can do hold and attack rear instead. So we're going to have to make a slight change to our plan for these guys. I guess we should do well. Let's not split those two forces up. I think that kind of sucks that he's lost his horse. That's going to be. I was hoping they could just put them on guard commander and have a bit more granular control of them, but that's not going to happen. We've got our mercenaries here. So overall infantry quality not terribly high, but very high quality cavalry. And the idea is we attack it off the left. They've got some war boys, but I don't think they're blessed. They've got barbarians, and there'll be some reinforcing troops coming from Gueladon, so they can definitely get some forces together there, and they might do a PD dump, but I don't know that they're going to think I'm attacking there, so who knows. They could also attack into Bagaloth, in which case we'd take that, and our forces moving from Bagaloth would probably lose, but I've got province defense there, so it's a pretty tough nut to crack. Once you've got a fort up, the province defense, I'm actually going to spend a little bit more on that, is actually quite strong for the Empire. So over in the west, what are we doing? Well, we're not attacking any of these provinces. We're not attacking Unremark. You can see, because this is now thawed, this river, they can't return back to Faircliff. So they're likely to go down to Three Pine Grove. And I think given that they're likely to go to Three Pine Grove or Anicia, the most likely thing for the Orcs to do is to at least merge some forces into Anicia. They might not. I think they'll expect me to attack into Ascends. I think these guys down in the south will probably attack into Foldenberg, maybe Yurik Baylor. The idea is going to Yurik Baylor is just, it doesn't have anything. They could also just hop over to Stonegrave Mountains, where we're just sort of patrolling. But I'm going to hope that I catch some of them in Anicia and do some damage there, and we'll just accept we're losing Ascends for now. One of the reasons I want to concentrate on Anicia as well is that it is my highest income province. These guys have good income, particularly Three Pine Grove, but Anicia is the better province out of those, so I'd like to keep hold of it. Foldenberg's also pretty good, and we're attempting to hold that. If they do move into Foldenberg with this force, if they move both of them, I'll probably lose, but if they just move the Bushford force, I do have some troops there, and I've got some guys in attack rear, and the province defense there is kind of buffed up. In fact, I'm going to dump there even more, so I get a lot of heavy cavalry. Just hope we can do some damage there. So we're investing quite a lot of gold into just big amounts of province defense, but I think we don't have much choice at the moment. We've been quite lucky in terms of gold events, and we need to convert that into getting some more military victories. Over in Middenheim, so the force moving up to Anicia looks like this. Lots of state troops, archers. Only one group of knights, so not actually the most crazy powerful force because they don't have that many knights, but they do have a significant weight of numbers. That could be quite effective, and then they've got several majors casting group Barkskin. I think my majors casting group Barkskin are mostly down the bottom. Yeah, they're mostly doing the knights, but we do have some Oryx Fury going off down there too. Then we're not risking our other majors, they're just researching, and we're doing Conjuration for now. Gems wise, we've still got a lot of nature gems primarily, so if we were to get to Conjuration, Call of the Wild, can't cast, but it would be good. Killer Mantis is not the best thing in the world, but we can do some stuff with that if we desperately need more troops, which we might be getting to that situation if the Orcs continue having success against us. Yeah, in Middenheim we are recruiting more Knights of the White Wolf, more Wolfkin, and State Swordsmen and Free Infantrymen. Oh, we haven't put a commander in the loop for them. I spent most of my cash, so I think what I'll do is take off some of these. I'll throw on a warrior priest, and we'll just move some of our province defense investments, perhaps. What are we doing in Foldenberg? We're recruiting some free infantry, and instead of recruiting in free infantry, we could be recruiting another swordsman. So we'll go with that. Having another warrior priest is nice just for casting Fury of Ulrich, so I don't mind doing that this turn instead of a priest. So that's the plan, and we'll see how that works out. I will see you next turn. It is turn number 18, and this will be the final turn in this video. So we've got Conjuration at level 2, which means we can do Killer Mantis. I think there's nothing else particularly interesting in there. The Thane of the Dwarfs of Kidzin Smith has claimed the Outer Throne. We searched and found no sites with our Amber Wizard. We haven't really been able to do much site searching because of this ridiculous war we're having with the Orcs. Speaking of which, the ridiculous Orcs, Bono's tribe, have declared Da Red Baron, the Orc war boss, the prophet of Gazkol Thraka. Orc war boss. Fair enough. That must be a multi-hero, I think, that they've ended up with there. Because I don't think they had an Orc war boss running around my land. Battle in Yurik Baelor. They attacked us in Yurik Baelor. This is with their mercenary cavalry. This should be a fairly straightforward slaughter. Yep. I wish I'd been able to buy them. I spent a lot of gold trying to get them, so they must have put a lot of gold in to beat me and get them. Battle in Ashenton. We're attacking. This is in Orc territory. Not very much province defense. We are catching. You see, every turn they're promoting Orc boys. We are catching a few of these each turn, which is it's always good to kill them. It's our cavalry with Greek Barkskin being fired off on them constantly. So we're not going to take any casualties here, most likely. Maybe one or two free company. But I mean, these guys are going to absolutely annihilate them. Did we lose anyone? A couple of free infantrymen. I mean, I could probably put them further back, to be honest, to the White Wolf, or I could have the White Wolf on attack closest. That might work better. Battle in Foldenberg. They have sent a fairly decent number of goblins. This doesn't look like that many, but remembering it's 5 per square, and some archers. But we've got province defense here, and we've got a force here, so they made a poor decision there. Oh, and there's some Wolf Riders, so it'd be good to kill them because they're Wolf Riders with stars, and Wolf Riders are actually fairly decent troops. Against basic infantry, there can be a bit of a problem. But this will be a fairly easy win for us because goblins just are not capable of beating us there. It's the remains of their stealthy troops, I think. Battle in Othelef. This is us attacking an eastern province, I think, Othelef. Basically nothing there. Where is Othelef? Yeah, southeastern. Stonegrave Mountains. This is the Orcs attacking us. So this is Warboys. This is in the southwestern part of my empire. There was an isolated province. It had a state captain with a handful of free infantrymen. Maybe we'll kill a Warboy. That'd be nice. They're not terribly tough. They tend to die from bleeding a fair bit, so we may kill one. Yeah, probably got one. Let's have a look. Oh, that's not the right battle. Othelef. Oh, wait. Stonegrave Mountains is what I'm trying to look at. 2 wild boys dead. Always good to pick some of them off. Unexpected event in Bagaloth, an assassination attempt. So this is the wolves, I think, or the dogs. Yeah, dog. So this is just all the dogs in the world have gone crazy. I think because of one of the thrones. I was taking an Amber Wizard. Amber Wizards are fairly capable combatants because they have a Thorn Spear. It's really that simple. I mean, it was nighttime, so he had some malices, but maybe Amber Wizard should have Dark Sight because of their kind of connection to animals, or maybe Amber Wizard Lords should. So he survived, that's good. Feral Woods, we get +1 heat, 2 fire gems. That's probably good. The more of heat, the better, because we've got cold, but we don't particularly like cold. Sneaking enemy, we killed a Marauder Scout, and cured a Battle Affliction, and then we patrolled out some unrest. So we've got 2 theatres of war. The east, where we have pushed forward, taking Ashenton and threatening the capital. I am not comfortable to attack the capital because they have a pretty decent number of wild boys. I know because not that many wild boys pass through, or maybe some pass through into this stack. I mean, it's a pretty big stack, but it does have a lot of goblins buffing up its numbers and barbarians. So I don't really feel comfortable attacking, even though attacking their capital would potentially work. This is a very nasty squad. Well, that's actually interesting. I think it would be kind of an interesting tactic to just hit their capital suddenly. They may not expect that. They'd be expecting us to move back, which is what I was planning on doing. But if we did move forward and hit their capital, that's a whole turn of income pulled out. They lose the income from everywhere they've got because they have no fort to route it to. You know what? I think that's a more interesting thing for me to do, and so I am going to do it. And I'm going to hold an attack closest rather than rear with this squad, and then I'm going to have 5 of them split off, and these guys will be on attack rear, and these guys will be on attack closest, but they're all going to bunch together, and then we're going to put the free infantry behind them, like that, and 2 group barkskins. Should we make sure that some more free infantrymen are held back? Don't have the free infantrymen too close to the wizards because they'll tempt them to cast group barkskin on them. We need it to cast on the knights instead. So I'm going to go with that, and he is going to be on attack rearmost as well. So we've got 2 things attacking rear, and then we've got 15 going for the closest, and they're going to be buffed up with group barkskin. And we're going to make sure that you've got an extra casting of group barkskin each of these guys. And we're going to do this quite a risky maneuver of just going straight at their capital and trying to blow a hole in the defences around their fort, and hope they're just not patrolling with that many different guys. It's possible they're going to try and move out of their capital and attack us here and move everything onto that stack, and if they do, oh well. So what we were moving back to Offerlef, do we now have enough stuff that will be left behind in Offerlef? No, I was going to move this guy to protect Offerlef and have some defense there, but I think instead of that I'm going to not have any defense in Offerlef, and he is going to join the rest of the guys in Feral Woods. This is just me trying to kind of game where they might attack, and I don't want them to take Feral Woods. It would threaten a lot of my provinces and it would be annoying. And I'd rather gather another big kind of doom stack and hope that they did move into that and get caught between 2 different groups. Now, I doubt that they will, but the benefit of it working out that way would be very high, and we've got, good province defense there. So we would be gathering a pretty big army of stuff there. We could, since we've already got a lot of stuff going back there, we could divert something to attack Gwelodon. That might be a good idea. I'll tell you what, since he may disappear anyway, let us tell the spearmen to march on Gwelodon and take it. I think that the orcs might attack in Offerlef. I'm just leaving 1 defense there. This guy might go up here, he might go to Offerlef. I'm kind of imagine this guy will go to Offerlef, this guy will go maybe Grey Mountains, but he could go to Feral Woods, and I'm hoping this catches them by surprise, this attack on the capital here. So speaking of routing income to capitals, the orcs are playing a game where they've taken all of this territory out of the rear of my empire, which is a significant blow to my economy, and they're also pillaging. They're just like killing the population off. And they're doing that wherever they've got a province where I couldn't reach the turn when they were pillaging. They're just sitting still for a turn and pillaging. So they're just basically trying to destroy my economy. There's not a lot I can do about that safely. I don't want to kind of mess up and do it in a non-safe way. So I'm just going to accept that they're going to do that. They're not actually making any money from any of these because they're not connected to their fort. And they're not making any money from this province, Lama. It's not connected to their fort either because we went round it. So we've done a really good job of cutting all of this income off from them. But they're just being destructive and pillaging. On this front, the western front, we are going to attack up here with a squad of infantry. If they move all of their forces to consolidate in Animarch, that would be a weird thing to them to do because at the moment, without that river being frozen, they'd be leaving themselves kind of trapped there. But they could do it. If they don't, I imagine we'll take that fairly easily. They might move these guys back into Treepine Grove and move these guys down to Ascend. They've got another squad down here, which we have seen is their main squad of Warboys. So I need to attack this province because they could unify 2 pretty big groups there with quite a lot of stuff. So we are attacking it with knights, lots of infantry, and particularly guys that are anti-sacred, lots of archers, state troops, more knights, and I think we'll hold an attack rear actually on that side. Yeah, a lot of stuff is attacking that. And I'm going to distribute my group barkskin guys so that they can group barkskin the cavalry. In fact, it might be so important to group barkskin the cavalry that we just want to put all the cavalry in one place. I think that might be the case. We do have some group barkskin up here. So how many amber wizards have we got in total? We've got these ones in the center. We've got 1, 2, 3 down the bottom. So we'll move so there's 2 in the center. 1 there, 1 there. And we'll have their job will be to group basket these guys. Move the state crossbowmen up here on the flank perhaps, because they're a bit tougher. And we'll move these guys onto this flank as well. And then we've got Ulrich's Fury being cast down here. That's fine. So yeah, pretty strong force. Lots of Ulrich's Fury being cast in the centre there, and we've of course got our lads spread out at the front on fire and keep distance. And we've got Mr. Man in the middle there. He doesn't need quite so many bodyguards. Let's free up a couple of them. So big force there, reasonable attack there, and then Foldenberg, we've got 30 defense. I think 30 defense. He's unlikely to attack with the horsemen up there. He could do. Can 30 defense beat them? It's not going to get any reinforcements. Possibly. What kind of defense is it? Heavy cavalry. I'm going to throw in 2 more points of defense there, and I'm just going to trust that Foldenberg can beat them or surprise somebody with how much province defense it has. I think he's already seen how much province defense it has, actually, so he's unlikely to attack into it. So maybe that's not a wise use of gold. Do we have anywhere else that we can recruit some people? We're expecting a fight. I think we're abandoning Offaleph. Could be a fight in the Grey Mountains. That's a reasonable place to throw in some free infantrymen because I get a discount because of the turmoil there. How much of a discount do I have here? 3 turmoil. I actually do have a very significant discount here. I do like Imperial Dwarfs, but I also like having a discounted free infantryman. Well, no, I'm going to stick with the Dwarfs because it's interesting. So let's just have the free infantryman there we were doing before. He's moving to join the rest of them. Yep, that's what we're going to be going with. And, ooh, interesting. Mountain survival. Mountain survival. Oh, he can, because of his mountain survival, he can hop over into Foldenberg. That's actually really tempting, because he would make quite a big difference to the province defense there, right? Just doing group barskin. I think I'll do that, and then I'll have him available on that front. So over here, are we missing a mage? Group barskin, group barskin. Put them all in one spot. Yep, that's fine. In fact, because this is going to be a province defense province, let's move them and sparse line them. So that's how we're laying things out. In Middenheim, we haven't got this much gold, that much gold this turn. We've got enough that we can spend it, but we haven't really got extras like we had before. So we're getting some more White Wolf, we're getting some more Wolfkin, we're getting swordsmen and halberdiers, we're getting an Amber Wizard. Very standard stuff. That's our plan in Middenheim. Bagaloth, we've nearly got a fortress up. We're getting more Imperial Dwarf and some of those. I guess I could throw some province defense here. I'll throw 6 here just in case he does a tiny probe or we get to kill a wild boy or something. I mean, it's probably a waste of gold, but we may kill something. That's everything for this turn, and that is everything for this video. So I will catch you. I hope you're going to have happy holidays. I've been having a really nice Christmas break, and I will catch you soon. Bye for now. Hello, my friends. Somber here, stuffed with Christmas food and filled with Christmas cheer. It's another episode in my ongoing series using my Warhammer mod for Dominion 6 and playing a multiplayer game where everybody is using a Warhammer nation. It's called The Slowest War, and we are on turn number 19. So this turn we have been stricken with the unfortunate beast known as the replay bug, so I'm going to take you through that a bit. The replay bug in Dominion 6 happens when during a multiplayer game there's been an update to the Dominion's version, but the game host is using the old update. It's when an update happens midway through a game, basically. And what happens is the replay, which you see of a battle, does not match what actually happened. What actually happened is reflected in the game world. There's no problem there. There's no inconsistency. It's just that the replay of what happened that you see is wrong. It is misleading. And that has happened in quite a serious way in this turn. So I will show you that now. So we've got Kill and Maim All Night, the Marauder Scout. He has claimed the throne of fire in the name of Kiss. Kill and Maim All Night, nice. So yeah, we've got a claiming of a throne. Another claiming of a throne. We need to check the Throny Thrones. We'll do that once we've looked at everything else from the messages this turn. We'll have a look at who's got what thrones. So, we attacked Bone Nose Tribe. This was a very risky, high-risk maneuver to try and hit their capital. Let's see what happened. So we attacked with some free infantry, primarily for kind of sieging and stuff, a couple of Amber Wizards, one of my old Knight of Moors, and then my Grandmaster and my Knight's White Wolf and a bunch of White Wolves. So pretty strong force. Unfortunately, the Bone Nose predicted that we were going to do this. They have added some extra forces to their province defences. They've got the province defences there, and then they have put their god out, and their god has fire magic, which he's going to be using. Got another guy casting fire as well here, or casting enlarge rather. He's enlarging their god, who is very, very tough. We do have the right kind of weapons to damage him. He's got slash and pierce, and we've got bashing weapons, of course, being Warhammer wielders. But yeah, this is his plan. I'm casting Groot Barkskin, and he is casting fireballs, and they're going to be very effective against us. I mean, that one managed to hit. So in we go. We've got, unfortunately, a lot of it too much stuff to chop through. So there's some trolls that he has purchased here. And we're going to flatten those trolls without too much difficulty. Just turn down the volume a little bit in my headset. So we're going to kill these river trolls. That's not going to be a problem. But we are getting slimed up in the process. Trolls are pretty nasty for knights to fight. And they've got a lot of just crap, you know, barbarians and things that they're going to throw in the way of my guys. And these fireballs are going to do quite a lot of damage to us because we've been buck-skinned. My Master of the White Wolves is attacking rear here. We should break their front of their formation without too much difficulty. We've got some wild boys that hopefully we'll kill here. It's always good to kill some of them off. And hopefully we'll kill these trolls. But you can see my Master is getting blasted because of his fire vulnerability by their god. Very bad. So the wild boys are dead. We're pushing onwards, killing some more of their province defense. But look, he's already blasted the Grandmaster of the White Wolves to pieces with his fire spells. We've routed the free infantry. It's just these knights left looking to kill some more wild boys and some goblins. I think another wild boy got killed there. So we are inflicting some casualties, but this is mostly province defense we're fighting here. We've got some guys routing. We've got some province defense still on our way. And their god is still being an absolute menace by casting magma bolts and the like. So we'll speed this up. You can see the real problem their god is casting fire spells. It's very effective. And then when we reach him, of course, all those spinning swords are going to chop us up. And my guys end up routing. So a terrible loss of basically everyone who's here. A lot of my guys do retreat, but their retreat route is unfortunately cut off behind them. I'll show you that in a moment. So there wasn't, as far as I know, a replay bug there. If we look at the results, we see that we killed the wild boys, we killed the river trolls, we killed the other things that we killed. You know, it's not a very severe amount of damage, but river trolls are not cheap. They're 45 gold each, and wild boys, you know, are limited in number as far as they can have them. So it's good to kill them, but basically we got stuck on province defense. We killed some barbarians and things, but these losses are very bad. Losing our order on the attack there, losing both those Amber Wizards in the retreat. 0 made it back. Anyway, Gwelledun, we attacked. This is our mercenaries. There's just some province defense here, so we'll just run through this quick. These mercenaries have got, you know, experience stars. They easily chop up these guys. Very straightforward. Ashenton, the orcs attack us. They've got war boys and orc boys, some trolls, and a couple of... Is that a boar boys? What is that? That's a goblin chieftain led a goblin boss with some boar boys. We've got a little bit of province defense, so that's a very straightforward one now. Osens. Now Osens, we have a very large battle. This is us attacking into the orcs. We've got all of our archers here. We've got lots of state troops, lots of free infantry, wolfkin. We've got a pretty big knightly order here. We've got the Knights of the Windsor Throne with some white wolves. We've got some horse archers. We've got more crossbowmen up there and some swordsmen and so on. We've got our Elector Count. Is that Valmir von Raukov, I believe? Valmir von Raukov. And the orcs have got a significant army of their own. So they've got all of their mercenary horsemen. Very nasty. They've got some boar boys. Good quality orc boys with experienced stars, some big uns who also have experienced stars. The province defense, a load of orc boys. This big province defense dump there, giving them these guys. Some more goblins and things, and a big core of wild boys with experienced stars. So this is one of their major forces. We've got a very elite Savage Orc Big Boss, and we've got Karaz-a-Karak in the middle as well. So a clash of some seriously powerful armies. This battle has a very severe replay bug. The outcome of this is totally different, but we'll watch the battle just to see what happens. So we're casting bark skins all over the place. That's basically our plan. I think we've got more archers than them overall. They're casting kind of in large on Karaz-a-Karak and a few things like that. And then our knights go rushing forward. And we're up against Magvolts. They've gone for some evocation, clearly. So in go our knights, in goes their barbarian cavalry. And then our state troops go in. And they've just got a lot of troops attacking us here, including the Wild Boys coming through here. A huge swarm of Wild Boys. So our knights predictably are doing very well on this flank, just killing everything. Our state troops are struggling a bit in the middle, and our free infantry. The Wild Boys are just crushing everyone up there. And then, of course, by the time they reach our archers are no match for Orc Boys and get kind of chopped up. And you can see the Wild Boys have got in the middle here. They lost a few of them, but they've basically reached our lines, so they're killing our commanders at the back. Our knights do rout the enemy there, and they continue to deal damage. But we're losing troops like crazy in the middle. The Wild Boys are attacking, and Karaz-a-Karak charges in and starts chopping up Valvimon Raukov. He dies. And we're routed. Generally pretty terrible defeat. Most of the orcs still alive. Our knights kind of failed to do enough damage on that flank and lose. So a disaster, this battle. However, that's not what actually happened. What actually happened was we won. We lost an Amber Wizard. The Grand Master of the Winter Throne lost his horse. We lost a state captain and a warrior priest. They definitely did reach our backline and kill some stuff. And loads of our archers died. And our free infantrymen. But we inflicted a lot of casualties with our Wolfkin, our White Wolf Knights, of course, Knights of the Winter Throne, State Halberdiers, lots of casualties. I guess we routed them, must be what happened, because not all of them got killed, a lot of them ran away, but they were defeated along with their province defense. I'm guessing the big difference was just that the Knights did better on their flank, kind of crushed through and managed to rout the enemy. So that's the difference. Some different kind of random dice rolls and things. Some routes happen, some of the orcs move away, and we end up killing a lot of stuff. The barbarian horsemen, of course, crushed and fled off the battlefield, so those are mercenaries, they're gone. Did we kill some of these things? Possibly in the retreat we did. If we look at the retreat details, we can only see our own. A bunch of our guys fled off to friendly territory. Hopefully a lot of the orcs died in retreat. So we did actually win that one. A lot of casualties, though, that's for sure. Like, over half our archers, most of our free infantrymen, most of our state halberdiers, some of our White Wolf Knights, some of our Knights of the Winter Throne. Like, lots and lots of casualties. Not so much, our Knights are the main thing. We didn't lose so much of our kind of elite stuff. We did lose an Amber Wizard as well, which is bad. And a Priest of Middenheim. Then we have a battle in Anremark. This is us attacking with just some state troops and archers. There's a little bit of province defense there, very straightforward. We just win that one, lose a halberdier. Battle in Feral Woods. This is the orcs attacking us with a fairly significant force. Now, we had guessed they were going to attack in Feral Woods successfully, and so we actually have a pretty decent force here. We've got two of our experienced knightly orders. We've got the Panthers and the Knights of Moor. We've got our Jade Wizard Lord, and we've got a good amount of province defense and some decent quality state troops, including Teutonic Guard with experienced stars. They are very nasty. Now, the orcs also have a pretty good force. They've got orc boys, but they don't have experienced stars. We've got some goblins, a bunch of barbarians. We've got their new prophet, the Red Baron, or Red Baron. And then we've got wild boys. They do have experienced stars, but not as many as the other group. And they did bring a Savage Orc Shaman. So pretty decent commitment of stuff. I don't know how inaccurate the battle is, but we're going to watch it. And then I'll show you what actually happened. I think it's a little bit inaccurate, but not completely. So we're seeing some flame bolts. Our knights have... that one's not a good example, he hasn't been blessed up. Have any of them been... Yeah, he's got bark skins, he's got high protection. So our knights have been kind of bark skinned up as much as we could. And they're going in to attack the rear. Oh, we've got a troll getting in their way here. And then they've got these guys who are fairly low protection, and we've got these slingers. They're going to do pretty well. And the free infantrymen are going to do okay. I mean, wild boys are very nasty. Right, back here we've got the Red Baron, the Prophet, lands immediately in the middle of our guys. However, the Wyvern is quite unfortunate and immediately takes a very nasty hit. So he bites a Tzeentch guard in the body, killing him instantly. But he is stabbed by a free infantryman for 5 and then 21 points of damage, and then hit again for 13. The free infantryman can hit pretty hard, and the Tzeentch guard are also hitting him. So he is getting chopped up there. He's surrounded by some nasty stuff. He's got Wolfkin, Tzeentch guard, things that can hit hard, and he's got Imperial Dwarfs right in front of him as well. Over on this flank, we've got some more White Wolf Knights, and they are fighting with the Orc cavalry, and they should win because they're just superior cavalry overall. Let's put it on slow for a moment so we can watch. So we have routed the goblins on this side, my knights have, and they're going to come back and try and help with the barbarians. I think that's what they're doing. I don't think they're routed. No, they're just coming back to help. We lost a knight of the White Wolf there, but they're continuing to fight the Orc cavalry. And our missiles are doing some pretty nasty damage to the Wild Boys here. Just slings, crossbows, and so on. Our knights are engaging the barbarians at the back quite successfully. And you can see that the orcs are kind of faltering here. They've got a lot of routes, and their main push is not going to be enough to beat up these state troops. They're quite tough, basically. Swordsmen are pretty decent troops for holding the line. And Tzeentch guard are very good. A troll here has slimed up my cavalry pretty nastily. Oh, you can see one of my guys was actually made ethereal there. It's pretty nice. Is he ethereal? One of them is, I think. Oh, maybe that's just the effect of the slime rather than ethereality. Yeah, I didn't think I'd scripted him to cast. No, he's not casting ethereality. So the orcs are now stuck in the middle, and the knights have reached their flanks and are chopping them up. And the Tzeentch guard are holding the middle very well. And there's not that many Warboys. A lot of them are dead by this point. So we'll go to normal speed. You can also see the crossbows from the dwarfs are being quite effective. If we look at their damage log. Yep. Hitting Warboys with their crossbows, hitting Orc boys with their crossbows. Very nice. So the Orcs just falling apart, and they rout. This gives us a chance to kill even more of them. So a win in Feral Woods. We kill 51 barbarians. Their new prophet, the Orc Warboss and the Wyvern, dead. Warboys, 22 dead, very nice. Some cavalry, 2 more river trolls, always good to get them out of the way. Some Boar Boy Biggin, and then a bunch of Orc boys. And we lose mostly free infantrymen and not that much else. Some state swords and Tzeentch guard are hard to replace quickly, but they did their job, you know. You can see they did okay in combat. And the Wolfkin did alright too. But yeah, a couple of the White Wolf Knights, that's a bit unfortunate. The Grandmaster of the Knights of Moor is just such a badass. He's killed so much stuff by now. Yeah, so that's a pretty good one in Feral Woods. We get a battle we witness in Lowmark. This is them just testing these trolls, seeing what they're like with one of their shaman, and then he's retreating. And we get a battle in Offaleph, which is just them probing our defences in Offaleph and then running away. So unexpected events, unrest and reduced population, that's bad. Worldwide, everyone's aging, that's bad. We've got a fortress completed, that's good. And then some people have made it home. So what are we looking at? What's the state of the war now? Well, the orcs rampage through my hinterlands has basically been stopped. There's a bunch of orcs that are kind of trapped here to a certain extent. There's only 2 places they can go. They can't cross over into Grey Mountains. They could attack up into Smacia. I need to check with the dwarfs that they're not attacking into Windswept Desert, which I think is not one of my provinces. The orcs have just moved into Windswept Desert. That's a dwarf province. I'm just actually going to check with them So I'll pause the video for a second. I think they might be online now, and I can just check with them and make sure that we're not attacking to the same thing. I could go and attack the orcs in Windswept Desert, but if the dwarfs have people there and would rather just take their own province back themselves, which makes more sense, I could force the dwarfs to move, the orcs to move into Faircliff and take them out there. And in Anramark, I could just move my guys back to Three Pine Grove, or I could, if I thought they were going to attack into it, I could just stay there and patrol and catch them. Because I want to catch and kill that group. So I will pause the video now and go and check that. If I could find the pause button. So I have sent them a message, and I'll change what I'm doing accordingly. I think they're probably going to say that they are retaking their province there. So what I will do is I'll go and take Three Pine Grove. Do I need to take my whole force to retake Three Pine Grove? Probably best to. If they attack back into here, I don't have very much in the way of defences, and Anramark is quite a valuable province. It's actually kind of a tricky one, that, because they could attack back from Windswept Desert. If they attack into Faircliff, I'm going to have a reasonably strong force there, including some of my knights, which should be enough to kill them. But yeah, I'm not sure if they are going to attack back into Anramark or not. Possibly we could just sit there and patrol, but it would be nice to have my province back. Yeah, any province I can just grab back off them is good. They're not making any income from it, but me taking it would mean I get the money from it, which is would be good. Maybe if I change my recruitment slightly, I'll do without the Wolfkin for a turn to allow me to have some more province defense here, and that way it could be enough province defense to just catch the troops if they move back anyway. So I think I will do that. Yeah, let me go with that. And down here, is there a cheaper wizard I could get? Those are 220. Pretty cheap for Ice Wizards of Kislev. Yeah, I think that's the best I can do there. And then back in Middenheim, we'll do without an Ice Wizard of Kislev, and I'll have a Warrior Priest of Ulrich, which frees up a bit of cash. And we'll just replace some swordsmen again, and we'll throw some extra defenses in there. That way we can free up our troops to go and deal with Three Pine Grove. Anyway, so I think the dwarfs are going to do that. If they don't, I'll change my plans and maybe attack that, but I don't need to worry about that for this recording. So, as you can see, I'm kind of switching my recruitment of wizards a little bit. Going to go and get some of these Ice Wizards of Kislevs and cast Quickness with them, because the orcs obviously are responding to me using Group Barkskin by using Fire Evocations, and it would be good to have more strings to my bow than just that. Down here, we're going to attack into Bushford. We're not going to attack into Stonegrave Mountains. I'm going to consolidate my forces into Bushford, guessing that I might be able to catch the orcs there. Who knows, they could go anywhere, but I don't want them to have any retreat route, because I want to kill off all of these guys that scattered from that army when they lost in Ossens. So more forces moving from Middenheim into Foldenberg. That's just to take Uric Baylor and cut off the people in Bushford, but also so they'll be in a position to move to Feral Woods if they need to. So more troops there, including the Elector Count. And then in Feral Woods, we're basically moving a bunch of stuff to Faircliff, and then more forces are moving from Battleoth. So we will have troops in Feral Woods, not a lot, but we'll have enough that if they move a not very strong force in there, they'll probably lose to that. Down here, off the left, we're just going to lose. We've got 6 province defense in there, but that's fine. In Kuhir, we're going to attack with our mercenaries. It's always good to just use those guys in the attack, I think. They're not in a position where they'd be able to beat the armies moving into Offaleph otherwise. So I'm just going to attack here. I guess the orcs could be moving into Kuhir, but regardless, I'm just going to hit that. They probably will attack Offaleph because it would cut these provinces off, so I won't get any income from them, which would be in their interests. And they could potentially threaten my fort there as well. And I'd rather they don't go charging into the underground and cause me problems down here. But I just don't think I've got enough forces to hold anything off there, really. If they move their guys into Offaleph, they will just take it, I imagine. I think they'll take Grey Mountains and Offaleph in their turn. And I'm not really contesting those provinces. I'm just building a defense against these guys up in Windswept Desert. Anything else? Yeah, so in Middenheim, people moving to Foldenberg, should they instead be moving over to Faircliff? Arguably, yes, to make sure the forces in Faircliff can beat these guys in Windswept Desert. I don't think the guys in Windswept Desert are that dangerous. We don't have a lot of defense there. We can change our defense arrangement a little bit. So we've got a little bit more in Faircliff. I think that actually might be a better idea if we're already moving our forces down to here. This has already got 30 defense in it. Yeah, I think we'll make a slight change to that, and we'll take our forces that were here, and we'll move up into Faircliff, and then we'll just arrange these a bit differently. So we've got a Greek Barkskin guy up there, and we'll put all of our knights in one block up there. And then these guys are on hold and attack. We'll just arrange our troops like that, I think. So possibly instead of Greek Barkskin, we might want to be trying out quickness. Let's try quickness on our cavalry. So we've got some Greek Barkskin, and we'll have some quickness on our cavalry. I think that's pretty much it for this turn. Overall, this war has been pretty financially devastating for us, really bad, and has left us in a rough shape. I don't think the Orcs are necessarily winning it. They just lost a lot of stuff this turn. It's certainly been quite costly for them. I think really it's just a very costly war for both of us. They're maybe edging out slightly ahead, but yeah, it's expensive for both of us. We're both losing a lot of stuff, and we're having to kind of not perfectly research and build up our economies and so on, whereas other nations are going to get ahead of us. But it's been quite a fun war fighting. Stonetroll's definitely a fun player to fight with. He's done some unexpected and some clever things. It's been nice. Oh, I'm also casting some Killer Mantis just because it's fun to have some summons out there and fighting, so we get some of those. Right, that's everything for this video, and I will catch you next turn.